What's up guys, it's Matthew here. Today we're going to create a retirement calculator from scratch in Excel, and I'm going to show you guys what I do exactly if I were to create an Excel calculator for retirement. And hopefully you guys learn some Excel shortcuts and things that I'm going to be teaching here. I'll walk you through step by step on how we're going to actually do that. So let's get right into it. We're going to open an Excel workbook, and you see there's a bunch of grid lines and stuff. We just want to make it clean and nice. So we're going to go Alt WVG, and then it's going to get rid of all of the grid lines. So we have a clean blank slate here. I like to start all of my workbooks in B2. So let's start with retirement calculator. Okay. And then to auto fit these columns, we're just going to do Alt HOI, and that's going to bring this B column a little bit bigger. What we're going to actually get here is a model, and I want to kind of map this where I have a retirement spending, our desired retirement spending, and then I'm going to have our yield that we're going to have to pull out from, and I'm going to have a portfolio value that we need. So it's going to be very simple. So if you don't get it, just follow along and it's going to be very simple. Let's say it's an anticipated retirement salary. And this is from the portfolio. So we're going to have a portfolio, and we need to make sure that we're pulling out enough money and have a salary for ourselves because we don't want to work anymore later. So let's say that number might be $100,000. That's after everything's paid off. Like hopefully by that time we don't have a mortgage and all we have to pay for is just food, traveling, and living life. But to make this easier, let's just go Alt HAN. That's going to make this a number in dollar format. And then we're going to go Alt H9. That takes away the decimal points here. And then you see this little cutoff here in B3. So we're going to actually go Alt HOI. That's going to bring the anticipated salary to just a little bigger. Withdrawal rate. Oops. Okay, let's say that's 4%. And to make this a percentage, we're going to go Alt HP. We're going to type in 4 again. And let's say we need to find out how much our portfolio needs to be. Portfolio value. And let's go in retirement. So to get our portfolio value, we're actually going to take this $100,000 and divide it by our withdrawal rate. That's going to give us $2.5 million that we need in retirement. I know this looks a little bit ugly right now, so we can just go Alt OA, and it's gonna give us a little better format. We could just choose any of the ones there. If you guys like a different format, you can go maybe a blue color. This looks a little too jarring for me, so let's go with this purple one. This looks very friendly. Okay, so we know now that we need a $2.5 million portfolio, and then later on we're going to pull 4% out of that every single year in our retirement years, and then our salary can be $100,000 and we don't have to work anymore. But let's say later on you want a more luxurious life. I talked to my girlfriend, she wants a $250,000 salary every single year. So let's put in those numbers. $250,000. That's going to need a portfolio of $6.2 million. So you play with this. This is super simple to make in Excel in a budget calculator like this. There's so many things that you could learn in Excel that help you model your life, help you model how you're going to retire, how you're going to plan for retirement, because when you actually start thinking about it, it puts it into a different perspective of, oh, retirement is going to be an age. And we don't want to think about that. So we want to think in terms of retirement is going to be a number that we're working towards, that we could pull money out of so we could stop working or stop forcing ourselves to work. Put in numbers into here and you'll see how different it's going to be every single time. And the needle's going to move, right? I think now when you're planning, it's going to be very different from when you're actually doing it later on. So these are all scenario-based questions that we're asking ourselves, but in practice, it might actually be different. Later on, you might actually be spending more or less than what you intend to. And that's all I got for today. If you guys enjoyed this video and learned some Excel tips, hopefully, make sure you drop a comment and subscribe down below of maybe your favorite Excel formula. Let me know what you guys are using to build your models. Is that Excel? Is that something else? And enjoy today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.